There was something I read recently about how in Japanese culture, hair, and especially long hair, is associated with the divine. I think that ties very directly into Eren's journey. Hello listeners, and welcome to A Dash of Salt with AJ. I'm your host, Ahsoka Jackson, blogger, poet, podcaster, and proofreader. Today I'll continue sharing with you my thoughts on the Season 4 trailer for Attack on Titan, and this episode will be another one that focuses on Eren's adult design and how there may be deeper symbolism alongside the aesthetic appeal. Let's get started. I've been focusing on the Attack Titan all this time because that's the main form Eren's been able to make use of, is his primary Titan form. But he also has the Founding Titan as well. Now, we've been given some of Marley's version of history and some of Eldia's version, or the Patriot's hasty interpretation of it. I think we'll find in Season 4 that the truth lies somewhere between the two versions. But one thing shown in the trailer was this, I call it Tree of Life motif. And I didn't realize this until someone pointed it out, but Eren is in a shot with it. And in the story we were given about the original Ymir, one rumor was that she had come into contact with this powerful core source of life energy. That's how I'd put it. And as much as we might have already seen, we've also been told that Eren has only unlocked a portion of the Titan's true powers. I feel like that tree of life we see might actually be that life source or energy source, and that Eren is gradually unlocking the Founder's abilities and edging closer to reaching that full level of power. My assumption here is that he would have to participate in a process of meditating, in between bouts of chaos no less, and learning to commune in that internal realm like what we saw with Armin. Like, I think the tree itself is in that internal realm, but that drawing power from it is a process, and we'll probably see him visiting that space multiple times before he can fully use it. But the point is that Eren, with his joint powers, and especially that of the Founding or Progenitor Titan, is essentially moving towards a sort of divine plane of existence and level of power. This concept is even discussed a little in some of the song lyrics from the past seasons. Although I should mention, that doesn't mean he'll be an example of straight-up virtue. In discussing the possible symbolism of his longer hair here, we're not talking about something necessarily like a Muslim, Jewish, or Christian standpoint here where divinity equals righteousness. Actually, Iblis, or Satan himself, is a fallen angel, so there is that as an example of a link between the divine and the evil. But from my understanding, this is a little closer to something like Hinduism, where you have players like Durga or Kali. Anyways, the last aspect that really caught my eye about his current or new design would be Eren's eyes. When I look at Eren's eyes in that shot, there's a different look in them than I saw at the end of Season 3. Rather than that sort of dazed, empty, barely there look he had then, I see a sense of focus now. He looks calm, focused, and cold. His eyes make me think of Levi, of Mikasa, and some other characters, but mainly Levi and Mikasa. I've said before that Eren has been taking lessons from Levi, and I said that partially in a humorous way because of the vibe he has now. This very intense, powerful, masculine, formidable, yet also smooth and calm energy he gives off now. But in a serious sense, Levi really has been a mentor and guide for the youngsters, and especially Eren. It wasn't until near the end of Season 3 that I actually realized the sort of role Levi played for Eren and the kids. And then looking back at the earlier episodes, I began to see that aspect of the relationship more and more. So Eren has been learning from him. What's more, he's also been going through certain experiences that are shaping him. Like Levi, Eren has been gaining knowledge and experience over time. In Eren's case, this happens both via personal experience and via his connection to the memories and experiences of the past Attack Titans, and perhaps through speaking with them directly. I'm not so sure about that part yet. But alongside the beneficial experience, Eren has also been accumulating pain and trauma over time, also like Levi. But again, Eren is experiencing not only his own personal life events, but also those of his predecessors. Come to think of it, he has both Attack Titan memories and Founding Titan memories. And just with what happened with Grisha and Kruger, you can say that Eren rather literally has several lifetimes worth of trauma before he even reaches adulthood. And I'm pretty darn sure that he already had both regular PTSD and complex PTSD in his own right. One thing I bring up in the article I'm writing is that I think part of why people were frustrated with Eren as a youngster is that they wanted him to be more like Levi, and they were frustrated and disappointed that he wasn't. But that really isn't a reasonable thing for the audience to expect. They wanted a traumatized teenager and child soldier to have the sort of calmness and composure and sense of mastery and other traits that we saw in a 30-something man who'd already been a soldier and mercenary for years, and had way more experience with the experience of battle itself, with the trauma of losing comrades constantly, and with learning to be able to function immediately in both a regular and command position as a soldier, while dealing with horrific sights and also the immediate grief. And it's not like Levi himself isn't emotional, even with how he often suppresses it from outward display and keeps it subtle. We've still seen moments where he becomes visibly enraged and lets that part of himself show, and acts accordingly. And I actually think that it's a very natural progression for Eren to become like Levi, both because of the similar experiences and because of the role that Levi has played in his life. And it's actually touching and heartwarming in a way to feel that resemblance now. But I think people were impatient and wanted to see that take place sooner than it reasonably would have. I think because of the ways in which I can relate to Eren, I had a bit of an easier time understanding him, and that helped me to be patient with this journey. As it is, he often surprised and impressed me, especially since I'm used to seeing hot-headed characters who are less analytical and less able to be team players and to show restraint. Of course, while I do find it heartwarming, that new resemblance to Levi is also scary, and arguably in a more severe way than all the more impulsive, open rage we're used to seeing from Eren. That's another thing that comes up in the article I'm working on. In any case, though, we're now at a point where Eren is a grown man. Man, I get emotional even saying that, because I think of how we've seen him as a young child, as a teenager, and even the flashbacks to him as an infant, chewing on his mom's hair. And what makes it even more emotional is knowing that he's an orphan, and his parents have missed this huge milestone that a parent anticipates, seeing their son or daughter reach adulthood. But anyways, he's actually an adult now, and just with the story itself, we're going to see the culmination of everything that has happened with him up to this point, both good and bad, and we're going to see what kind of person he's matured into over time. Alright guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Our next one should be the final part of my trailer reactions, at least for now. I'm going to be talking about that exchange between Eren and Reiner, which is one of the things I'm most excited to see in full form right now. I'll also be sharing some miscellaneous thoughts on stuff I forgot to bring up earlier. Well, I hope you had fun today. And if you're enjoying the podcast, please don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, share, or review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, social media, or whichever app you use to listen. I especially look forward to hearing your comments, theories, and questions related to Attack on Titan. Be blessed and stay salty. Also, Tatakai.